Oh my god. Hey guys, so this is Tashiria Spellman's podcast. Well, Princess Tashiria as my YouTube channel name. But I'm just gonna start going by my stage name, Tashiria Spellman, which is my artist name. You can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, and literally everything else. So yeah, you guys should stream my music. And I also have a new song coming out. But this is gonna be my first podcast for today. I'm gonna try to do this like regularly every week. Something I'm a little bit new to, something like I'm really excited for. But yeah, let's get into today's topic. So today's topic, I wanted to talk a little bit about solitude and being alone. Well, I kind of want to start off like how I got to being solitude and like just being alone and being by myself. So I remember January 1st, I was out partying, having fun, doing my own thing the whole month of January. I was just literally out there, just having so much fun, going to bars, going to clubs, going to frat parties. Like, I was just doing the most. Of course, I was keeping my grades at the forefront because, like, obviously, I cannot fail. No, no, ma'am. But yeah, I was just going out having fun because I felt like I deserved to go out and have fun because I never really used to do that a lot. I mean, I am always out doing stuff, but I'm never always out partying. I'm always at rehearsals or I'm always at practice or I'm always like doing something. I'm always doing something. Like, I'm always involved in something. Like, I'm always at an event on campus. Like, I'm doing my RA job or I'm on call. Like, it's always something that I'm doing. I'm never like actively like going out and always just going out like outside of campus. I never actively do that unless I'm getting something to eat. And I also like to splurge on myself and get something to eat because as we should take care of ourselves, our mind, our body, and souls, and feed our spirits with good food that we love to eat. Obviously, um, but yeah, and so what was I gonna say? I completely forgot my train of thought. Like literally left my mind. Um, but yeah, I was just going out all the time, all the time. And the month of February, like February 1st, like I've just kind of like been alone, like been like with Tashiria and just sitting with her thoughts and really trying to heal, especially my mind. Because being at UH and I love UH. I love this campus. It's so beautiful. I am a transfer student from Texas State. I do love Texas State. The campus is so beautiful. Back to what I was saying. I was going out and now I've just been alone. Especially these past 2 weeks. I've just really been alone. I have not wanted to like leave my I have not wanted to like leave my room. Um I have just been sitting in my room. I mean, normally I always sit in my room, especially on weekends, but like I just I don't even want to see people. Like it's like to the point where it's just like solitude is like my best form of happy space, my best form of being to myself and giving myself self-care. And I feel like one thing my mom always used to say is like, you always in them streets, you always in them streets. And I'm like, Ma, I'm really not, because I'm always at an event, I'm always doing something, I was like going out with my friends, but like even though I was doing that, I really wasn't always out in the streets. Like, to be fair, I mean, I was, but I wasn't. But being out with those streets, I made a lot of connections and I made a lot of new friendships. And I will say I'm a little bit well known on campus. So like these past 2 weeks have been a little bit hard, especially like going to the dining hall and I'm like just trying to eat food and just sit by myself and I'll just have someone come up to me and be like, "Hey girl," and I'll be like, "Damn, am I really that recognizable?" Like I just want to be alone. I just want to sit by myself. Um, but yeah, that's been a little stressful. So that's why I've just been like ordering food or like go get a milk change and I'll just go home. Cause like I just would rather like be by myself. Why did I say sorry to the mic? That's something I wanted to talk about next for the next podcast. It's always apologetic, or should I talk about zodiacs? We'll talk about that towards the end of the podcast. But yeah, um, yeah, like literally, like I have like I just get recognized, and it just like, I just would rather be alone right now. And I've just been having a hard time like saying no to people, because like I feel like if I say no to them, they're just gonna be like mad at me, because like I've said no to people before and they've gotten mad at me. So it's like, it's kind of like a trigger trauma response, because it's like, well, damn, if I say no, like, am I gonna lose this person? Am I gonna lose this connection? It's like, I really don't want to lose anything, but I have realized that I have to be okay with losing things, because that will only make me move forward and progress more, because not everybody's in my life for a good reason. Not everyone is supposed to be in my life, and everybody who is not supposed to be in my life has their season to end in my life, you know? Sorry if you hear me like sniffling a lot. I'm like, I have a lot of mucus. It like comes and goes all the time. So sorry if you hear that in the mic. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna try to cut it out as much as possible. But yeah, like literally like uh I and like this will go back into the thing that I'm gonna talk about later with like friends and fake friends and saying no to people, like especially like if you really need that time to be alone to give your mind self-care. Like I've been practicing a lot of self-care, journaling, drinking teas, like doing stuff for my mental health, watching a lot of educational videos. I've been watching a lot of videos about death and like what it is like after death and stuff like that. I find it so cool. um there was this one video I was watching about death, and how when people die, they like go through this realization that everything happens for a reason. Like when you watch your life play out after you die, like you understand like that everything is going to happen for a reason. Like say I'm walking down the street, right? And a bird comes up and lands on my shoulder or whatever. You'll see that in the vision kind of sort of your layout of your life that happened in your real life, but you'll see that after you die. Like the bird was supposed to land there for a reason. Like everything has a cause and effect after you pass. I hope I kind of explained that right. um yeah, I kind of hope I kind of explained that right, because I'm still understanding it myself, but like I kind of knew that this was kind of gonna be like a thing after death, because I've kind of seen it before. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm kind of spiritual. I don't really talk about it that much, because I don't like to tell people, because once you tell people, they automatically look at you weird and they think you're on some weird voodoo shit. And it's just like, dude, I'm just a normal girl. I'm just a normal girl. Like, it's like, not saying that weird, like voodoo is weird, not saying that at all, but it's just not something I practice personally. I just meditate, cleanse my home, take care of my body, read the Bible sometimes. Should probably read more, because the Bible has a lot of good stuff in it. Um, Even though I wouldn't say that I cater towards a certain religion, but yeah. I went on a tangent again. You'll find out in a lot of podcasts that you'll like see me in, or that you'll see me in on my YouTube channel, Princess Tashiria. Subscribe right now, comment, like, okay? That I'll talk a lot about uh I'll go on a lot of tangents. You see how my mind just literally flipped right there? ADHD. ADHD. It's like the meme, freaking Renee Rapp. She's like, ADHD, ADHD. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Solitude. Um, yeah, I've just been really being alone. This has affected me like for, I would say, for the better. Like I feel like I've become more stable with being alone and being by myself. Like I feel like before I always like kind of needed somebody to hang out with, but right now I just I don't even want to see people. Like I love just not like interacting with people. I love just like being in my room, just sitting in my room and like laying in bed, eating food, or watching my favorite show, or watching YouTube, or watching something that like I find that's so interesting. Like I love just doing that. Like I remember I was watching, I don't know if you guys know them. You probably know them. They're like pretty big. They're like the two main women who like talk about how to like stand up for yourself and how to like, not let men like do whatever they want. Those two women, I think you know who I'm talking about. I don't remember their names right now. I've been watching them a lot recently, and sometimes some stuff can be like a little much, but a lot of it actually makes sense. Like I remember one of the girls, she was talking about how you need to know your value and your worth. Like if you're doing a painting and the painting, you want to sell it for $1,000, and you've been working on it for 9 months and you're only selling it for $1,000 when you should be selling it for like over 100K. It's like, well, you need to know your value. And she was like, well, I just started doing my own painting, and it may look bad, but I was selling it for more because I know my value. I know what I worked to put in it. And I was like, girl, you low key ate with that. Like, you ate with that. Like, that really inspired me because it's like, I really need to know my value when I'm walking into spaces. And that's also like me being in solitude is understanding my value, because I feel like I did not understand my value at all. And I still feel like I'm a little bit struggling with that too, because it's so hard, like being a college student and really understanding where you are in life and where your mind is, and where you are in this place in planet Earth. Like planet Earth is so big. It's so hard to know like what you want to be, who you want to be, where you want to go, the things you want to achieve, the money you want to make. It's so hard. Like it's just something that I've just been realizing, that you really have to know your self-worth and really cater to yourself, whether that be by making plans of what you want to do, creating schedules of what you want to do, really like planning out your life. Like it may be hard at first because it's really hard, but my mom always says it takes 21 days to create a habit, to start something new. And that's something I've been doing and I'm still currently doing, which I'm actually proud of myself because I've actually been holding it up. um I won't tell you guys yet, but I'll tell you later down the road. But yeah, I've been doing something for 21 days. It has been a little challenging and hard on me, but it's only like improved my health for the better. um so yeah, that's something that I want to say. But yeah, the next question is, what have I learned by being alone? What have I learned by being alone? Ah, that not everyone's for me. Not everyone is for me. I feel like this will go back into the things I'm going to talk about later. Is when I came to UH and I joined the acting program, um, like I don't really know if I want to talk about this topic because um, I still am in the program and I will not be leaving the program unless I am forced out of the program, which most likely will not happen because I've been keeping my grades up and I've been doing good. And yeah, but I wouldn't say I was severely bullied, but I was very much bullied by my classmates in the program. And so I never really understood my value, and I still am struggling to understand my value, but I've been doing a lot better of understanding my value, um and realizing that no matter what they say, it can never really affect me to the way it used to affect me. And that's what I was talking about earlier with like forgiveness and like trying to forgive them, but not really fully forgiving them because I am so hurt. But everybody, I think only two of them know that I know that they've really talked bad about me behind my back. And I think one of them, he also knows too, but that's another story for another day. But I think they can probably. That's why I always stay away from them and I don't really talk to them. I've talked to the professors about it. Um, they were just like, maybe you should just show up better, and everything will get better. I mean, maybe they're probably right. Maybe I should show up better, and they probably will stop being mean to me. But that doesn't give them an excuse to do so, or to talk bad about me, or to even continue trying to talk bad about me. it's like, well, it's kind of telling someone, I don't know, it kind of feels like they don't care. It's like, I mean, obviously, I didn't tell the teachers like what they really, really said behind my back, except for my advisor. Like, I told her a couple of things that they said, but not everything, because it's like I'm trying to save face for them too. Because if they know what really happened, they'll be like, "What?" I remember one of them got mad at me because I got casted in the show, and I had a really big role, and it was like, well, maybe I just deserve that role, you know? And like I remember hearing that and I was like, what? Like this was an all black show and he was white. And it was like, what? It kind of felt like, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of felt like he didn't want the black girl to win, kind of sorta. It was kind of icky. It was kind of icky in my opinion. It gave me a really bad taste in my mouth. And I remember one time he told me like to shut up because I was sticking up for someone that they were all talking about. I was like, well, maybe you should really shouldn't like talk to like about them like that. Like you don't really know what they're going through. And he was like, Tashira, shut up. And I was like, what? Like what? But yeah, I was like, that's really crazy. I was really baffled. I'm still really baffled because it's like maybe I just deserve that role. Maybe I'm just a really good actress and the director saw what they liked and they picked me for a reason. Um, and I think I deserve that role too because after hearing that, I felt like I didn't deserve that role and I wanted to quit the show. I felt like a waste of time, a waste of energy, a waste of space, and I kind of felt like I was being shut down again. I mean, I'm always being shut down every time I go into that building and every time I step into that building. But now I'm coming to the realization of no, I'm not gonna be shut down. I'm not gonna, let those type of things affect me and change my perspective on how I view myself and how I view my self worth and how I love myself. No matter what my classmates say about me, it it does not matter in my opinion anymore. I know who I am. I know that I'm a great person. I know that I'm kind. I know that I'm loving. I know that I'm beautiful and I know that I'm strong. And I know that whatever mistakes I've made, I have learned from them and I've grown as a person. And realizing my self worth has been a huge thing over these past 2 weeks, especially in the month of February. But especially these past 2 weeks, sitting in my home and just being alone and not really going out has been really, really helpful because I feel like if I didn't do that, I would still be stuck in the cycle of, oh my God, why don't they like me? Why are they always talking bad about me? And I remember I was talking to my advisor and she was like, you're working so hard now. Like you're doing all of this. You're working really hard. You're showing up. You're doing this. You're doing better. Like I don't want you to do that for them. I want you to do that for yourself. And I was like, yeah, but I was doing it for myself too. But like I wasn't doing it for them. I mean, even though I have been showing up and doing better, like they still treat me like kind of the same. Like still, I feel excluded. But to be fair, I did exclude myself at first because I did feel not so great energy from them. Um, and that's what I've kind of like been dealing with. And it's been sucky, but it's been really helpful for my mind and really understanding my self worth and where I come from and how I am, kind of sort of. But yeah, the next topic is how does this affect the relationship with friends and family? Um, Family not so much because me and my family we don't really call that often anyways. So I mean when we call each other often we are usually on the phone for like I would say over an hour or so. And it really depends. Sometimes it's like 30 seconds, sometimes it's like 2 minutes, and then sometimes it's like over an hour. It's either one of the three. Yeah, this has affected my life with friends. Um Not necessarily so much, but it has like really made me question a lot of people who are in my life right now. Like when I say like I have like questioned a lot of people in my life. Like I've questioned like think I'm like sometimes I'll be like thanking God. I'm like, God, thank you so much for showing me who these people are. Like, wow. Like I remember like I was just being alone and I've been canceling on a lot of people and canceling and I kept canceling. And not saying that I made plans with them. It's just like they wanted me to come out with them. I was like, no. And they wanted me to come out with them. I was like, no. And then there was one plan that I canceled. Um so I guess you can say I wasn't canceling. I was just saying rejecting people and I was saying no. I guess that's a better way of saying that. But yeah, I was like saying no to a lot of people and I remember I got a weird look from one person who I like didn't show up to like one of their, stuff and I was like, "Ooh, awkward." And I was like saying hi to them and I was like, "Oh my god, hey, how are you?" And like it's just like complete like kind of like I don't want to say mean mug, but it's like, "Girl, why are you talking to me?" kind of stuff. But it's just like, "Oh, well." But to be fair, I didn't know them like that. Like so it's like I don't really know if like I'm thinking too much in my head about it or if I'm just really valid in like how I feel. Um Maybe I am valid in how I feel, but like that was a little awkward. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna walk away now. I'm so sorry to bother you. But yeah, and yeah, I and so that has affected that a little bit. So it made me question a lot of people in my life. Not only that person, but like a couple of other people too. Like you never really realize how much people really like want you in their life just because you have something or just because you look a certain way or you carry yourself a certain way. It's all because they want something from you. I'm not saying this a statement for like all people, but most people who would just come into your life to use you, that's usually what they're looking for. My dad used to tell me all that time as a kid growing up because I had a lot of nice stuff growing up. And he would be like, Sharia, most of the people you're hanging around with, they're not the best for you. They're probably using you. You need to stop letting people use your stuff. You gotta protect your stuff. This and that, blah blah blah, blase blase. That's all I heard as a kid. And now like I'm growing up and I'm realizing like my dad was like high key right. Like people really don't care. Like they will use you and they don't care what for. And it's such a crazy thing because it's like me as a human being, as a person living this life in this body and living this human experience on earth, it's like kind of like, well damn, like I would never do that to someone, but someone would do that to me. It's crazy. And really understanding that it's like coming from a place of like, wow, like on earth there are really people out there who would use you. And it's like, how did I attract that person? How did I accumulate that kind of like attention in my life, like how did that happen? Like I'm such a kind soul. Like I would literally break off my back for someone. Like that's crazy. I should not do that. Like who's to say that they deserve that? How do I know that they're not going behind my back and talking bad about me? Like like that's crazy. Like why would I do that? But for me to attract somebody like that, it's just like, well, how did that happen to me? Like what could I have done? But it's not really a thing of what could I have done, but it's like what values do I see in myself that I lack, that I allow people to use me. And that's where I've been learning a lot. A lot. Being in solitude. I ate it that. I really did. I really did. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. our clapping sound here. Woo! But yeah, just really, really understanding that. 'Cause that's, oh, uh, the cord is moving around. The mic is really sensitive, and I'll hear like a lot of stuff as they were telling me. But I am a Coog radio right now, filming a podcast. Hopefully, soon to becoming one of the a radio show host. I think that would be really, really sick if I could do that. So yeah. I love it here already. I have such a great experience so far, and so yeah. The next topic is, what is the next topic? Friends slash fake people, slash weird people. LOL. um, Not necessarily like weird people, but like weirdness in like a sense of like, oh, why would they do that to me? Like, that's weird, those kind of people, So with fake friends, like a lot of like the people that I've been contacting with is crazy. A lot of people that I've come into contact with, now I would say a lot of them in my life are true friends, especially my closer circle, like my two closest best friends. I love them so much. And then I have my other best friend in San Marcos, Texas, Mason. I love you so much. You're literally the best. I'm gonna bleep out your last name so nobody knows who you are. But yeah, I literally love him so much. He's literally amazing. Um, but yeah, like I feel like the people I've come in contact with, I love them so much, and that they've really shaped who I am today. And like when I tell you, they have shown me a lot of things in myself that I needed to fix. That's the type of friendships that I wanted to like have and to counter. Like I need people to tell me like when I'm wrong, when I messed up, how to, navigate the situation, how to fix things. Like that's the type of friendship I'm looking for. And like they do it like in such a nice way. Like they're very kind with their words. They're not nice, they're kind people. They know how to set boundaries, and that's one thing I really, really appreciate, especially like with them specifically, because they're both earth signs, and I love earth signs. Any earth signs watching this video, I just want to let you know I love you from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I love you so much. But um, yeah, they set boundaries. And that's something I've always wanted to do, is set boundaries. And I feel like I've been doing a lot better at setting boundaries with people, because before I used to lack that within myself. That's why I used to attract so many bad people in my life who would just use me. So that's one thing where I finally realized that I need to draw the line and separate the two, because at the end of the day, my life comes first and my mind comes first. My body comes first. My chakras come first. Honey, my chakras. My chakras need to be aligned. There was a little bit of bullying that I was gonna talk about too today. Um but I kinda already touched on that a little bit earlier, about how I've like not had the best experience in the school theater and dance. I don't feel like there's really much more to say besides the fact that my classmates were not nice to me, and they really, really warped my whole idea and personality about how I need to be perfect from now on. Like, for some reason, I just think I'm like God, and that I could be perfect, and that, I can do this, this, and that, and do this, and that 10 times better. And when I try to show up 10 times better, I get criticized, and I'm told that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying so hard. Like, why can't you see that I'm trying really hard to show up and like be a part of this program? Like, not that I haven't been showing up before, but I will say there's some things, certain circumstances that really affected how I showed up. But now that those are clear out of the way, I'm feel like I'm now, I don't want to say I'm being perfect, but I'm trying to be perfect so hard. And I just feel like no matter what I do, it just like will always, always, always be not good enough. And that's one thing, like, I've been trying to, like, understand in solitude, being alone. The whole reason why I'm doing this podcast today is like, I've been being alone this whole past 2 weeks. Is that no matter how hard I work, no matter how hard I show up, no matter how I change or I could change overnight, like nobody will care. They will always have their same opinion of me, of how they had before. And that's okay for them to have their opinion of me and, to say whatever they say and say however they feel. But at the end of the day, it's not for me to place a judgment on myself because of what they feel or think about me. And I think that's something important that all of us could really learn. And for you who are watching at home, probably sitting down, eating food, or I know that's what I do when I watch YouTube. I sit down on my chair and I eat food, or I'm in my bed and I just be watching TV, or I be snacking on something. Like, that's what I be doing. But yeah, that's something that we could all really learn, is that we cannot let people warp our reality of how we really think about ourselves. And because at the end of the day, we are so amazing. And if you really don't see that in yourself, I hope you really learned something from this podcast today. And I hope that you learned that it's okay to just, keep going no matter what people say about you. And this is saying a lot from a girl who's been bullied all her life. This is saying a lot. And you might be thinking, Tashira, how have you ever been bullied? Girl, I have stories to tell you on days. Like, I need to do like a past life reading or something to see like what happened in my past life where I attracted all these people in my life, because it's crazy as hell. But yeah, yeah, I think that's gonna be the um a little bit it for today's podcast. I want to do a quick check-in with you guys and see how y'all doing. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys learned some wisdom from today's podcast, and I hope you guys took a little bit of advice. And I'm so excited to see you guys in the next podcast. I don't know what I want to talk about. I think I want to talk about either zodiacs or love. There's no one in my life that I have right now. Like, no one. Actually, I don't really want to talk about love. I'm past that phase of my life. No more love. She's in her single girl era. She loves being single. She loves it. She loves the life. She loves the life. It's so amazing being single, because I don't gotta worry about nobody. I can just worry about myself. I can go wherever I want. Like, man, I love being single. I've been single for a while now, but like, I love being single. Yeah, I'm living the life. I'm living the life over here. But yeah, I think that's it for today's podcast. I love you guys so much. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, and share the video. And let's get me to 300 subscribers by the end of this month. We can do it. We can do it. We only got 60 more subscribers. And I think this video may go viral. Who knows? I think you guys might like it. Okay, so I just came up with the name for the podcast. It's going to be called Stars Podcast from now on. But if you see like a random cut, like, just know that I didn't get all the footage. But that's okay. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of today's podcast. I hope you guys took away a lot of good stuff, a lot of advice, and just know that you are loved and amazing. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.